Hello and welcome. It's so nice to see you've joined me. In this lesson, we'll be looking at how to create melodies in Noteflight for piano teachers. We're going to create melodies in Noteflight for piano teachers in this order: compose melody, add lyrics, add chord symbols, and finally add some fun elements to engage your students. If we haven't met before, I'm Monta Monique. I'm a multi-passionate certified K-12 music teacher. Ready to transition to teaching group piano lessons online? For more info, click here or copy and paste this link into your browser to download your free guide. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you won't miss a lesson. So if you're ready, let's get started. So welcome into the back end of my Noteflight. If you're new to Noteflight, just type in noteflight.com and you can open a free account, and everything we're doing today you should be able to do with a free account. So in order to start creating a score, you're going to click the little plus sign right here that says create, and it will show you different options that you have to create a score. Now, because we are creating a simple melody, this is for piano teachers, I'm obviously going to click piano and I'm going to click OK. And you will see that Noteflight just brings up this amazing, wonderful, ready, beautiful score for you to start creating your melody. So now we have this amazing template that we get to work from, and this is a really easy and quick way that you can create melodies. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add my title, Happy Birthday, and then for composer I'm going to put the information that I need, and you can put anything that works for you and your music studio. Here I'm going to put easy play piano, and I like to add whatever the genre or the category is. It makes it easy for my students. The button up here that you need to be really familiar with is the save button. So click that every time you want to save something important. So the title and all of the other information is done. So on the left-hand side, right underneath the logo here, you're going to see 3 lines, and this is where all of the palettes live. So the first palette that we're going to bring up to the top is measure. And the 2 things that I like to do to get set for any composition is, the first thing I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to change the time signature, because Happy Birthday is in 3/4 time. I'm going to click OK, and you can see it automatically changes everything. Now, there is an option if you want to add the first measure as a pickup measure, but I generally just start typing and then I'll show you a little trick that makes it easier. If you want to change it to a pickup measure, you can. It's optional, it's totally up to you, but I'm going to leave it as such for now. The next thing we need to do is we're actually going to compose Happy Birthday in the key of F major. And the easiest way to do that is to go into the top palette here. We have the measure palette. You're going to click and hover over change key signature, click that. You have a couple options, major, minor. We're in the key of F major. Scroll down, click F major, and then click OK, and that automatically shifts the entire piece to F major, and you're going to click Save. So now it's time to start inputting our notes. Now there are a couple ways you can do this. You can highlight a measure, and you can see I have a little ghost note, which is one way that you can start to input. Or if you have your MIDI keyboard hooked up, which I do, you can also input it that way. But to make it easy for you, if you don't have a keyboard, just click a note. We're going to click F. Now, obviously, we're not going to start. Happy Birthday starts on the 3rd beat, and we're going to go ahead and type in the F. You can type it on your keyboard or on your MIDI keyboard. I'm going to use my MIDI keyboard, but obviously it doesn't start with a quarter note, it starts with a half note, and the quickest way to change that timing is to use your right bracket key, and if you do that, it will change the value. So first of all, let me delete that, and we're going to use the right bracket key, and we're going to change this. We're going to lower that to an 8th note, and then we're going to click another 8th note here, so you can click an F, and there we have the first 2 notes of Happy Birthday. Now, in the second measure, we're going to add a D. Now, because we have been inputting eighth notes, it's going to automatically upload as an eighth note. But in order to change that quickly, you can go back to the 3 lines here and click duration, and then you'll see all the duration up here. And then let me just zoom in a little bit so you can see a bit better. There's an eighth note, but we're going to actually change this to a quarter note. So you can click on that and it automatically changes the note from eighth note to quarter note. And then the next note is C, and then there's an F. So we're going good so far, and I'm going to just increase the volume a little bit so you can hear a little bit better. And let's see, the next thing we need to do is we're going to go to this measure. And again, you can either click on the measure or you can input it with your MIDI keyboard. Now, obviously, that note is not the correct value, so we're going to use the right key bracket and we're going to shift that to a half note. And then for the next input, we're going to, now this is going to come up as a quarter note, but it's easy fix. You just use your back arrow key and click the left bracket, and we're going to input another C. Next measure, it's going to type in a D and then C, and you know the melody, right? It's pretty easy, right? And then we're going to change this note to a half note, and then we want this C actually to be an eighth note, happy, and then we're going to use the right arrow key and then type another C, and then we're going to type in a C that needs to be changed to an eighth note. Okay, and we're going to come back and add a fermata. I'll show you how to do that in a second. That B needs to be changed to a B flat needs to be changed to an eighth note. So I've clicked it, and there's 2 ways again you can go about it. You can go up here and click on an eighth note and click another B automatically, and then E, we're going to change that to a quarter note. Now here we're going to change that last note to a dotted half note, so you can click the right hand bracket and then go up to your duration palette and click the rhythm dot, and that makes that a dotted half note. So that is the basic melody. Now we're going to tweak it a little bit. So let's go in, and the first thing I want to do is let's go in and let's add the lyrics. So in order to add the lyrics, you're going to hover over the note, and there's a couple different ways you can do this. You can see here that I am hovering over text, which you can do it that way as well. You can hover and click performance text, or you can just simply click the T, or you can actually click in lyrics, which is the Command L. And then it will automatically prompt you where to put the lyrics. So Command L, and we're going to type in happy, and then birthday to you. And then I click the space bar for it to go to the next note, happy birthday to you. And then happy birthday, dear, and then we can put friend or whatever name you want to put in there. Also, you can go click shift download, not download, shift with the line up in the number section if you want to do that. So you can type that in if you don't want to put a name. And then happy birthday to you. Okay, so now we have all of our lyrics in. Everything is good. All right, so let's add a few more tweaks. Now we're going to add in the chord symbol. So there's 2 ways you can go about this. You can go back into text and you can click chord symbol, or you can simply hover over the note and click K. So I'm going to hover on this note and I'm going to click K, and I'm going to type in F major, and then I'm going to click on the C. I'm going to type in C major. Oops. Now you see I made a mistake there. That's super easy to fix. All you have to do is click Command Z or Command Z, and it corrects that mistake for you. So I want K, and I want C major and seventh, and you can see it will automatically make the seventh a superscript. And then on this note here, I want the F major, so I'm going to click K on my keyboard, and I'm going to type in F major, and then I want the E to be B flat major. I'm going to click K, B, and then I'm going to click the lowercase b and then major, and you'll see that this will automatically superscript the smaller b to make it a B flat. And then here we want the F major, so K, F major, and G, we want C major. Now you see, if you make a mistake, Command Z. So here, highlight, click K, and C major 7, and back to F major. So K and then F major. So now we have all of our chords, chord symbols in place. And then a few more things. I want to add in some fingering. Now, here's one thing that is that I see that I want to fix, and this is a perfect example. Before we do that, let's click Save. So this F, these two eighth note Fs are in the wrong octave. So I'm going to double click, highlight both of them, and use my arrow key. I'm going to actually do Shift and then my arrow key down, and I can just shift those down to the F that I need. So C, B, A, F. Okay. And actually, no, we want C. All right. So that is an option for you if you ever make a mistake. And let's see. Oh yes, let's add some finger numbers in. So to add finger numbers, we're going to click on the note, and we're going to click. There's two ways again. You can click over text, and you can click performance text, or you can simply type the letter T, and we're going to type in 1. And another fingering I want to add is T for text, and a 4. And let's see, oh yes, I want to add the fingering 5, so I'm clicking T and 5, and I want to add a fingering for 2 here, and a fingering for 1, and then a 4 here. And all I'm doing is I'm clicking the T, and then I'm adding my text. Now you can see here that the finger numbers are a bit high, so I'm just highlighting them and dragging them down to the position that I want my piano students to be able to read. So now my finger numbers are in a good place. It's not covered up by the chord symbol, and everything is in place. Now, we talked about earlier on, we talked about the pickup measure. So what I prefer to do, you don't have to do this, but what you can do is you can highlight these, and we're going to go down to our color palette again, and we're going to click color, and there is one of the colors that says none, and I just actually like to just hide those, hide the two rests, and then I'm going to hover over the measure here, and I'm actually just going to click on the bar line, and I'm just going to highlight it and move it to the left so there's not as much space. So a couple other things you can do, and if you want to turn this into a lead sheet, you can click on the left, the bass clef, and you'll see that two little gray boxes come up, and they're a little bit hard to see, but you can click on that. And a quick way that you can do this, if you want, is go ahead and go back into the color palette and click none, and it takes away the left hand, and you can go to show and hide measures. There's two ways. So now there's nothing, there are no rests, nothing in the bass clef. Or another way you can do this is you can go up to measure. You've got your measure palette up, and you can click hide show measures. So we're going to hide those measures, and There you have a simple lead sheet. Before we go, there's a couple fun things that you can do to sort of up level your student learning experience. So the first thing that you can do is you can add some color. This is totally optional, but I find that my students really like this. So we can highlight the entire piece and say that it's your student's birthday and their favorite color is purple or pink. So you just go down to your color palette and click the color palette and it will show at the top for you. And I'm gonna highlight and make this pink for my student to take away the to rest, because this is the pickup bar. You simply go to color and put none, so that's not seen. I'm going to adjust my measure. And then another option, if you would like, again, this is totally optional, is you can add the note names. Now this would be ideal for a younger student, or if you have a student learner that is having some issues reading note names, click on the note palette and you will see that the notes will appear, and you can click Command A or Command All and click the notes, and all the notes appear for you. And one other final suggestion that I would like to add, and again, this is optional, under formatting, under the size, sometimes I like to make my note size just a bit bigger. It makes it all the easier for younger students to read, and those are just some fun little options that you can add. Before we go, let's take a quick listen to our piece and make sure that everything looks and sounds as it should. So up in the left hand corner, click play. So I'm happy with that tempo, but if you think it's too fast for if you have, say, more of a beginner class, you can click on tempo. Also, you can click here up on tempo on the color palette or the music palette, and you'll see tempo here, and you can either use the arrows to go up or down, but I think I'm gonna leave it at 120 just for now. That is how you create a melody in Noteflight for piano teachers. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next lesson. For more music videos, subscribe to Move Over Mozart.